What's up, YouTube? It's Wolf King, and you watch Wolf King's vids. All right, so tonight, famous Christian apologist Ravi Zacharias has been exposed as an academic fraud. Live via Ross Story. Just sharing it with you now. There we go. Page located. That's right. The prolific author, who has claimed to have a number of degrees from various schools, has been investigated and discovered to be a charlatan. The founder and president of Ravi Zacharias International Ministries, apologist Ravi Zacharias, has apparently stopped padding his academic resume with unearned degrees and misleading claims of scholarly positions of Cambridge and Oxford universities, the Friendly Atheist reports Tuesday. Attorney Steve Bauman has been investigating Dr. Zacharias for years. Bauman describes Zacharias as the doctor with no doctorates and the scholar with no scholarly work. His weekly radio show plays on over 2,000 outlets worldwide. He has written over 25 books, many of them bestsellers. He gets millions of YouTube hits, packed auditoriums, and has a growing portfolio of self-named ministries with audiences all around the world. This has shocked the Christian world. I mean, it's really interesting how his snake oil seems to have progressed, but very interesting how that worked out. It sort of reminds me of that one video I did previously. Atheism is actually dishonest means, right? He thought that this was a good thing, like his means justified his ends. Academic integrity matters more than Machiavellian intent. Skeptical questions about who holds positions of power, whether it be in academia or in politics, were up for grabs. He basically built an empire, a reputation, just lies and fabrications. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, if you do that, you're no better than Kent Hovind or Ken Ham. I mean, Ken Ham, I mean, his schools were legitimate, but, he does that creationist bullshit, and that's... Okay, Bachman concluded, Rabbi, it seems complete academic non-entity masquerading as a polished scholar. Okay, let's see. Apparently there's a video. We could watch a clip of that. It's just funny how this stuff just comes out in the blue.
Zacharias is an internationally renowned evangelist and a fascinating example of how someone can deceive millions of people even when the truth is right under their noses. He is a master of stagecraft.
That's like saying define God and give 3 examples.
And has convinced the world that he's earned several doctorates, that he is a former visiting scholar at Cambridge University, and a senior research fellow at Oxford University. The first 2 claims are false, and the third is highly misleading. Let's take them one by one, and for more details, see the text field below.
Just as we get into this, it's just very funny because I remember there was this one story he made with regard to the moral argument about having a moral law and a moral lawgiver, and he changed 2 of the school's names in each of the recollections of the story. So that's just interesting how this whole thing comes to light. Like there's been talk of him being questioned to exaggerate these claims. So it's fine to just get into it right now.
Has no academic graduate degrees, but he routinely refers to himself as Dr. Zacharias and speaks in venues where the title is understood to mean that the bearer has completed a course of doctoral studies. The multiple doctorates claim has spread widely, and we even see it in the author bios of publishers like Penguin Books and Random House. Mention of these degrees being merely honorary, while ethical protocols and plain old honesty require that honorary doctorates be clearly marked as such. And here are a couple of nice examples from atheists Richard Dawkins and Daniel Dennett. At the website of Mr. Zacharias' self-named ministry, rzim.org, the word honorary does not appear in connection with his doctoral degrees. He simply tells us that he has been honored with a conferring of 6 doctoral degrees. Now, Mr. Zacharias might say that the words honored with make it sufficiently clear that his degrees were honorary, but that would be wrong. I was honored with the conferral of 2 graduate degrees, neither of them honorary, and here's a big university telling its PhD students that if they want to be honored the way Ravi Zacharias says he was honored, they better get their dissertations defended and approved. And if we Google the term honored with a conferring of, we see that it's just not that complicated. When a degree is honorary, you use the word honorary. But Ravi Zacharias does not. In the summer of 2015, I publicly criticized him for this misleading practice.
Dr. Ravi, cheat, 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 Dr. Ravi, cheat, cheat, cheat. Say, oh, Dr. Ravi, who you gonna fool tonight?
He responded with a peculiar act of splitting the ethical baby. He added the word honorary to 2 of his websites out of Europe, but back at headquarters, rzim.org, he left the word out, but he did reduce the number of references to himself as Dr. Zacharias from 7. What conceivable reason could Ravi Zacharias have for omitting the word honorary, other than that he looks better without it? And wouldn't it mislead fewer people if he would just be Mr. Zacharias? Ravi Zacharias tells us in his autobiography that in 1990, he spent some time at Cambridge University where he had been invited to be a visiting scholar. This is the crown jewel in his very sparse academic resume, and he has broadcasted it widely.
I'll have to look into this guy's YouTube channel. He seems to be very, very entertaining. I like that banjo song.
The claim is false. In 1990, Mr. Zacharias did a 2 to 3 month sabbatical at a place called Ridley Hall in the town of Cambridge, England. Ridley has close ties to Cambridge University, but it is not part of the university. It is a private religious training school. While at Ridley, Mr. Zacharias attended some classes at Cambridge University, and based on this, he tells us that he was a visiting scholar at Cambridge University. This struck me as suspicious, so I filed a Freedom of Information Act request with Cambridge University. They confirmed that although Mr. Zacharias had done a sabbatical at Ridley, attending lectures and classes at the University of Cambridge while on sabbatical at Ridley Hall would not confer University of Cambridge visiting scholar status on a student. Ridley Hall is not a constituent part of the University of Cambridge and has different criteria for granting visiting scholar status. So Mr. Zacharias' most impressive academic claim is false. In 2015, when I told him that I was going to make this information public, he removed the prestigious Cambridge University from his bio and replaced it with the more humble Ridley Hall, Cambridge.
Oh shit. That's interesting. I'll put that link in the info box in this YouTube video, but this is interesting. We'll stay tuned for as more details with the story develop. We'll let you know just to be safe. But yeah, this is interesting. This is very hilarious. It is funny. Again, I just got on another ridiculous creationist for apparently getting on legitimate academics for just stating the obvious that empirical evidence to support a certain thing existing, and now it's discovered that Christian apologist who's claimed to have a number of academic disciplines has been found to be a complete fraud. That's complete irony. It's hilarious. I just mentioned that claim to have these exaggerated like abilities and skills, and they're just made out to be frauds. It's funny how if you just listen to reason, these things come to light. But I'm just going on a tangent. Let me just end this right now. This has been Wolf King. Peace out. If you like this video, you know what to do. Like, favorite, subscribe. Peace. Fuck out. Hail Satan. Dare to know. Good night.